I'm Louise Halsey, and I call myself a weaver. I had an undergraduate degree in philosophy, and after I graduated that summer, I became an apple picker, actually in the fall. And so my parents were amused by my having become an itinerant fruit picker, but they thought I needed more direction. So they offered to send me to Aramont, actually, to learn how to weave.
Stephen Driver, and I'm a potter, and just recently retired from 20 years of teaching. I got an athletic scholarship to go to college, and I was a swimmer. And I had made pots in high school. I just wandered into the clay studio and made pots. And even though I never had, I did not get an art degree my first time around. I got a degree in psychology, but the teacher let me come in and work when I could.
I ended up living in Georgia and teaching at Callanwall, an art center there. And I was the secretary of Georgia Designer Craftsmen, and at a meeting, a very tall man came in, and he was dressed almost completely in Peruvian textiles. And that, in the end, he became my husband. He had been working in Georgia, but he was getting ready to move to Arkansas, where he had bought land.
This was a lot like North Georgia, but not as insane in terms of the growth from Atlanta, and land prices were very cheap. So I talked my brothers into moving here, which was insane.
I definitely wanted to move back to the land. We wanted to grow our own food. He had never built anything really when he built the house, and we wanted to try and do all that and be as self-sufficient as possible.
At a certain point, I hit the wall with doing production work, and I was really unhappy with, I didn't like my work. I didn't like lots of things going on, and so I applied to graduate school and went and got my MFA at the University of Georgia. I thought I finally had something that I had to say, that I thought I could teach.
When we were first here, we both still had connections with Georgia, where we had business contracts, and so I wove table runners for a place called Storehouse. So I would hang my table runners out on the clothesline after washing them. It was we were very romantic. The whole thing was very romantic.
In the 14 years I was away from Arkansas, my children got educated, and my wife got an MFA too through my teaching institution, got some assistance with her tuition, and worked out really well.
I was good friends with a woman who started we don't call it a rag business, it was strips of new fibers that were hand dyed. So she started this business and got tired of that. So in 1990 I took over the business, and I bought an 8-foot wide loom. And it was all custom order. So I'd work with designers, they'd send me swatches, I'd custom dye the fabrics.
I had the chance to move back to Arkansas and get a job at University of Arkansas at Little Rock. That was 5 years ago.
And then I've been doing more exhibitions, and I really am needing to recommit to where I want to sell and seeking out galleries.
A lot of this is existential, is that at 62, I still have a lot of art I want to make, and a lot of things I want to do.
I want to canoe more. I want to hike more. I really would like to move toward more sustainable dyes and practices like that.
I've educated my kids. I've done everything that I'm supposed to do, and now I'm going to be a little more selfish in terms of what I do with my time.